right now, like, can anybody mess with you guys today? I mean, after you going back to New York Times and having them change it, was that ultimately like your insurance policy to protect yourself against them coming back after you?
Well, so I want to do a couple of things with that. Like, there's a couple of things. For one thing, I would prefer strongly to just laugh this stuff off and joke about it, because that would be in character for us, right? To just mock the New York Times. But because of the way the social networks treat misinformation and they take it so seriously, we literally just can't sit there and make jokes when the New York Times is out there saying that we are misinformation. So we had to make a statement about it, and my hope was that we would set some precedent for showing these media companies and these media personalities that when they make false characterizations of us, we're going to actually do something about it instead of just laugh it off. So I think there was some precedent set for that. With their retraction, I think it's less likely now that other media companies will make that same mistake, which is good. I think that was, a win for us. We notched that as a big win. But it doesn't mean there aren't other threats. I think if you were to ask me right now what I think the main threat is to satire right now on like the social media platforms, it's this idea of punching down. You familiar with punching down? And I can explain it for people who are watching who may not be familiar with that. But you have this new policy that Facebook is rolling out. They've announced it recently, I think back in June, that they're going to put together a policy specifically around satire. Satire is allowed on Facebook. You can do it. You just can't punch down. And what that means is you can't make fun of people. You can't make jokes or make fun of people who are below you.
It's hypocritical, by the way, what punching down means.
What do you mean?
Like, if you're punching down, you can't say anything about women. Why? So you're saying women are beneath me?
Right, exactly.
I can't say that's not punching. What do you mean punching down?
That's what I say.
That's sexist, ain't it? No, that's punching down. But you're contradicting yourself.
Yes.
With what they're coming up with.
Yes. If I look at a woman, I say, you know what? I'm not going to make a joke about you because you're beneath me, and I would rather not joke about someone who's beneath me. That's not polite. What does that say? That's so condescending to look at somebody and say, I'm not going to joke about you because you're beneath me. Now, what they'll try to say is that it's about power, right? Like, who has the power? The people who have the power shouldn't be making jokes about the people who don't have the power. That's really what they're trying to get at there. But they're putting people into this hierarchy where you're in these tiers, and based on your score from your race, your gender, your status and privilege in life or whatever, you get scored and tiered, and there's certain people that you just can't touch, you can't make fun of. I reject the whole thing for the reason you just gave. I think it's condescending. I think it's hypocritical. I think it reinforces and perpetuates sexism, misogyny, racism, etc. To think less of people or to think that there are people beneath you. I think that if we're all created equal, and I believe that we are, then we should all be able to joke about each other indiscriminately and not be like hands off certain groups. Now, does that mean being like kicking somebody while they're down, being malicious? No, but I see it as precisely the opposite. Conservatives, in my mind, being one myself, conservatives are really have been on the ropes in the culture war for a long time. We've been on the defensive. The left, the progressive ideas have been winning. They dominate education. They dominate the corporations. They dominate media and entertainment. They dominate right now in politics. So you have progressive ideas that are dominating everywhere. And cultural conservatives are really on the defensive. So when they make jokes back in the other direction, if anything, I would say they're punching up against the institutional powers, not punching down at people who are less powerful or influential than they are.
So if you like this little short clip from an interview I did, click over here to watch the entire interview. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.